On this Sona stuff, we have a patient that came in with a chief complaint of abdominal pain. And when we saw the patient, we could see that she had an abdominal wall abscess. In our bedside ultrasound, you can easily see the abscess and the subcutaneous tissue. But the problem was not identifying the abscess or draining it. The patient was in too much pain to really even let us touch this. So this Sona stuff is about how we got pain control without sedating the patient. Now what we did for this patient is the Transversus Abdominus plane block, or TAP block. This is a plane block similar to fascia iliaca or the brachial plexus, where you can infuse a large volume of anesthetic and it's going to diffuse around a plexus of nerves. And the plexus of nerves that we're going to try to hit are T10 to L1. And it'll give you this nice field of anesthesia around maybe just a little bit above the umbilicus level down to the inguinal region. And it can give you really great anesthesia, and there's case reports of folks in remote areas doing appendectomies or even C-sections with these types of blocks. Now this is a unilateral block. You could do it bilaterally. So you grab the high frequency transducer and you go to what is called a petite triangle. You go to the mid-axillary line right above the iliac crest and below the subcostal margin. In that location, you'll see 3 muscle layers. Point the indicator up towards the ceiling in this location. You'll see all 3 muscle layers, which is the external oblique muscle, internal oblique, and then the transverse abdominis. Nerves that supply the pain receptors of both the deep and superficial structures run in this layer between the internal oblique and the transverse abdominis. So that's our goal, is to get anesthesia between those 2 muscles. We had one practitioner holding the probe and the needle and methodically and slowly going through the muscle layers to the location that they needed. We had another practitioner holding the syringe with anesthetic, withdrawing and injecting when the practitioner holding the needle asked them to. The results were quite remarkable. The patient had no pain after a few seconds. We could grab that abscess and squeeze it, and she had no pain whatsoever. We let her sit there for a few minutes, and we went back to do the incision and drainage. And at that point, she did have some pain with sharp objects. And at first, we felt like maybe this was a failure of the block. But on retrospect now, I think this was a real success story, because she went from tons of pain, we weren't able to touch it at all, to no pain at all, super comfortable. And we just put a little bit of local in, and the procedure went fine. I will definitely be trying this again. Remember to be mindful of your upper limit of anesthetic you can give a patient. As well, don't go through cellulitic areas and avoid the peritoneum.